July is a big month for G.I. Joe fans. They're finally releasing the Snake Eyes origin movie. Funko also released a couple of G.I. Joes in their retro toy line, and we grabbed the two recently released Snake Eyes figures. As the line Retro Toys implies, these Snake Eyes are based on their classic toy counterparts. First up we got Snake Eyes with Timber, which was released as a Funko Shop exclusive. The next one is Snake Eyes Commando Mode, the very first version of Snake Eyes. At the back of the box, we see the other figures in this wave. We have Scarlet, Baroness, and Storm Shadow. This is the top of the box. And at the bottom we see production info. This Snake Eyes is also called the Commando Snake Eyes. This pop is based on the very first Snake Eyes figure that Hasbro released. Some detail in this pop is also based on the 25th anniversary Snake Eyes figure. How I wish they included this file card in the packaging. Feel free to pause to learn more about this stealthy commando. Like the original Snake Eyes, he's holding an Uzi, but this one has a yellowish gray color. His tactical harness has a grenade and sheathed knife sculpted into it. The back of the pop perfectly captures the details of the original Snake Eyes figure. And here's the other side of his beautifully sculpted Uzi gun. The amount of detail sculpted in his costume is amazing. Check out that nice satchel of explosives. And that stick of dynamite with timer strapped on his thighs. The sole of his boots has no legal stuff printed on it, because they placed it under the head. His boots also look awesome, and they colored it dark gray. I love the head sculpt of this figure. It captured his goggled head look with breathing holes in his mask. This is the top of his head. One of the things to watch out on this figure is the glossy paint on the goggles. Make sure it's fully painted. Because I found some with an incomplete paint job. You can turn his head 360 degrees without any obstruction. Here he is with my G.I. Joe Origins comic, featuring Commando Snake Eyes on the cover. Next we have Snake Eyes with Timber, otherwise known as V2, or version 2 Snake Eyes, or Ninja Snake Eyes. Again, this is based on the 1985 Hasbro Snake Eyes figure. And also a bit of the 25th anniversary Snake Eyes. From Commando, they upgraded him to a ninja, and gave him a sword, and his now iconic night visor, which we see in most of the movies. They also updated his bio card to reflect this change to ninja. Feel free to pause if you want to read it. This pop is full of little details, from his pouches to a wrist arrow launcher to his bandolier with sculpted grenades. The blade in his sword is painted with glossy black, as well as the knife he holds. They also got his double belt right, and even sculpted a knife sheath in his left thigh. One of the most impressive things here is his backpack. Like the original figure, Funko sculpted tabs in his backpack, so you can slide a thin sword in it. Incredible. They also sculpted a gun holster in his right thigh. In the original figure, there was a sculpt of what seems to be a mouth behind the mask. Funko didn't have one in this pop, but it's okay, he still looks good. There are lines sculpted on the top of his head. Like all pops, you can turn the head 360 degrees without any obstruction. There's also nothing printed on the sole of his boots. Here's Snake Eyes with Timber, who rescued him and became his companion ever since. Though Timber became a pet to Snake Eyes, he remained a wild animal and usually stood guard at the cabin when Snake Eyes was away. While the original Timber is light gray, Funko painted him with lots of details. For a Funko pet, Timber is pretty big and wonderfully sculpted, with a lot of fur details. Funko also painted his eyes and nose black with a glossy finish. Here's Snake Eyes with my G.I. Joe comics, with him featured in the cover. Years ago, Funko released a Snake Eyes under their animation line. That one was based on the cartoons, but maintained a dark, grayish color. Even the other characters are based on how they appeared in the cartoons. Let's put these two different Snake Eyes side by side. The new one clearly has the better sculpt and details. What a difference a year makes, in terms of sculpt quality. Whenever Funko does a re-release with a new sculpt, I'm all for it. Here's Snake Eyes, with the recent Hasbro 3.75-inch Snake Eyes, and the G.I. Joe classified version. I just love this Commando Ninja. When I was a kid, I had 3 G.I. Joes, Snake Eyes, Alpine, and Lifeline. G.I. Joe is very nostalgic for me, it brings me fun memories of childhood. Now that I have my own money, I pretty much buy the Joes I like, but mostly Snake Eyes, because that's the guy I had when I was a kid. So I was overjoyed when these two were released. And I'm glad that I pre-ordered them. Final grade for Snake Eyes with Timber. 9. This is a wonderful reimagining of the 1985 Snake Eyes figure. It captures the details of the original, and adapts it perfectly in pop format. My biggest complaint is perhaps the pose that Funko picked. It blocks a lot of those wonderful details. It's also a minus for me, whenever companies make their great-looking figures an exclusive that you can only get from their online store. Final grade for Commando Snake Eyes. 10. This pop was just so well done. It captures the essence of the classic 1982 Snake Eyes, and improves it by leaps and bounds, even in the way they painted it. Despite being all black, the mix of grays, muted colors, matte, and gloss finish, makes an already beautiful sculpt pop out even more. Plus points, that they released this as a regular figure, that you can still easily find, for now. Thanks for sticking with us until the end. As of making this video, we are 18 subs away to 400 subscribers. So please, if you like our stuff, feel free to subscribe, or comment your thoughts below. Until next time. Yo Joe. See you on our next video.